Our first scripture lesson is from Matthew chapter 21, verses 1 to 11 on page 1532. When they had come near Jerusalem and had reached Bethphage, at the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent two disciples, saying to them, "Go into the village ahead of you, and immediately you will find a donkey tied and a flock with her. Untie them and bring them to me. If anyone says anything to you, just say this: the Lord needs them, and he will send them immediately." This took place to fulfill what had been spoken through the prophets, saying, "Tell the daughter of Zion, look, your king is coming to you, humble and mounted on a donkey and on a flock, and the foal of a donkey." The disciples went and did as Jesus had directed them. They brought the donkey and the flock and put their cloaks on them, and he sat on them. A very large crowd spread their cloaks on the road, and others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road. The crowds that went ahead of him and that followed were shouting, "Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest heaven!" When he entered Jerusalem, the whole city was in tumult, asking, "Who is this?" The crowds were saying, "This is the prophet Jesus from Nazareth in Galilee." This is the word of God.
Thanks be to God.
So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hey, everyone's still coming to church after a Lent talking about grace and reconciliation. I'm relieved. For those, we have a couple of visitors among us today, so we'll try to bring you along and tell you, you can kind of see the tracks of where we've been as we've been studying the Confession of 1967 and the Confession of Belmar together this Lent. We start every week, and we'll start again today with the group norms that are on that back wall. These are the things that we agree to do, the ways we agree to act with each other while we're together. Number one, listen. So instead of thinking about what I'm going to say next or how I want to disagree with that person's point, I'm just going to listen to try to understand what they're saying to me. Second, speak in terms of I. Share from what has happened to you in your own experience. I think, I feel. We assume confidentiality, right? If someone tells you a story that's personal, we're not going to tell it outside of here without asking that person's permission first. Assume that people have good intentions. I think we often assume that here, but that will help us. And on the same, kind of the other side of that coin, if something offensive happens to you, say ouch. And then we can finish what's happening. We can go back to and say, what hurt you about that? Help us to understand, because we want to get better at being a community that doesn't hurt each other, right? Speak loudly. And at the same time, if you can't hear what's being said, let us know. We don't know you can't hear if you don't tell us.
What?
Good. Yeah, very good. That's an example. Also this, we've talked about this is effective. And the last one, if you are someone, an extrovert, someone who thinks their thoughts out loud, if you're someone who was raised in a school where you got points for raising your hand and participating, be aware of that and maybe step back a little bit, hold back a little bit. But on the other hand, if you're someone who's an introvert, if you're a little shyer, if you think about what you're going to say first before you can say it out loud, if you grew up in a different kind of school where you were taught to be quiet, try to push yourself to speak up. We really need to hear from you. Are there any other things that we want to say for our time together, the way we're going to act? Do we agree with these norms once again? Some people are now nodding their heads. This is great. We've learned something. Okay, cool. So today's Palm Sunday, as Bridget told us, and we heard the reading of Jesus' entry into Jerusalem. So on every table, there are 2 orange sticky notes. And you are going to have a task. For our new visitors, we've been using this paradigm of the center and borderlands. Does someone want to explain what this is? Caroline's looking at me in the face. Do you want to tell us about the center and borderlands?
Like if you put that in the center,
Yeah?
white, male, educated.
So the people in the center are the people who have a lot of power. They're the people who we assume are normal. White, male, educated. They speak a certain kind of English with a certain kind of accent. People who, there's money in the center, right? And then who do we think of on the borderlands? Those who are nuns. So people of color, women sometimes, right? People who speak English with a different accent than the proper American one, right? Poor people. People who have physical challenges, right? People who have mental health issues. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender people, right? So we've been thinking about God's call to reconciliation is that we break down male and female, Jew and Greek, slave and free. We break down those barriers to become one community. So on your table are some orange Post-it notes that are words from the Palm Sunday story. One of them in the pair belongs in the center, and one belongs in the borderlands. So I'm wondering if you would talk at your tables, decide which is which, and then send someone to come post them here on the wall. Just a couple, take just a couple minutes. It shouldn't be too hard.
Basically, he was in the center. He wasn't rich. He wasn't healthy.
Are you accepting
You know, he worked with the poor.
Put those up on the board. Do you want me to go? All right, where am I going? Caesar's in the middle, right? All right.
You walk better than I do.
Light flow.
You figured it out? So let's go around and I would like each table to tell us which ones they had and what they placed in the center and in the borderland. So can we start here? Do you remember which yours were? Soldiers. So soldiers in the center and children and peasants in the borderlands. Okay. Over here?
Emperor and prophet. We put the emperor on the blue part of the ceiling up there. Because we didn't want him in the center, but he belongs in the center.
He's in the center. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the prophet.
This is what makes a prophet often, right? There's someone from the outside. Yeah. Good. What else?
So we had 4 actually, because we had 2 tables.
Nice.
So in the center we had armor and robe, and on the borderlands we had cloaks and nether.
Nice. Back here?
We had warhorse and donkey, so warhorse went in the center and donkey went in the borderlands.
Nice.
We had Caesar and Jesus, we put Caesar in the center, and we had Jesus on the borderline.
As we discussed last week, Jesus is hanging out here. Yeah. This table, what?
We had a red carpet and palms. We red carpet in the center and palms the bottom.
So biblical scholars believe that at the time that Jesus was entering Jerusalem with the palms and the cloaks, peasants and children cheering from him riding on a donkey, that another side of Jerusalem, Caesar, entered legions of soldiers in shiny armor and a red carpet placed beneath him. What Jesus did was very symbolic, right? When you see it this way, there are choices that privilege what was usually unprivileged. He's flipping the script, right? The reading that Bridget read for us this morning, it says, when he entered Jerusalem, the whole city was in turmoil, asking, who is this? So why do you think that action made such a big deal? Who did that action threaten? The center.
Wrong.
The center.
The emperor.
Rome, the emperor. And indeed, in a week from now, they think they've killed him. So Palm Sunday, I think often we have this idea it's a Hosanna, it's like Jesus is this triumph. We call it the triumphal entry, right? But we lose what Jesus was doing in poking holes through the structures of power, the sinful structures of power that kept people divided from one another and taught them to distrust and to hate each other. That's the legacy that I hope we carry out of this study today and out of Palm Sunday into the rest of Holy Week. So Bridget's going to read a second scripture for us now.
Our second scripture lesson is from Ephesians chapter 4, verses 1 to 6 on page 1821. I therefore, the prisoner in the Lord, beg you to live a life worthy of the calling to which you have been called, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, making every effort to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to the one hope of your calling. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in all. This is the word of God.
Thanks be to God.
So the end of this study, I think this is God's question to us. How do we live our lives worthy to the calling to which we have been called? So here's what I would like to do. I want to think about Clinton Presbyterian Church. And at your groups, in your tables, here's my question. In our church, what is in the center and what is in the border? I have two caveats. I think some of us are going to say, oh, people who don't come to church are in the borderlands. Well, okay. For now, put that out of your mind. Among our gathered community who is a part of our church, who is closer to the power, who maybe is not, who is privileged, who is not, what's considered normal, what's considered not normal. If your immediate reaction is, we're all in the center, that's probably a sign that you are in the center. If that's how you feel, let's close mouths and listen to what others have to say. Or let's think harder, right? We talked about, in one of the first weeks we talked about Mad-Eye Moody from the Harry Potter series, saying constant vigilance, right? Because sin is constantly poking into our lives in all kinds of ways. And the minute that we think that we've figured it all out, that we have it together, right? Pride comes before a fall. That kind of arrogance keeps us from continuing to make our community one that is just and loving and built in God's reconciliation. So let's take a minute, talk at your tables. Who's in the center? Who's in the borderland?
Interesting.
My God. Jesus is in the center, and involved on the outside. There's so much
Is she talking though, just everybody here?
Everybody in the church.
You added Jesus into that.
Yeah, he's in the church. If he wasn't, we wouldn't be here.
Lori, what do you think? I agree. That's like saying facts. What about
You always have stuff to say at home.
I think anybody who is in or an
Pastor asked us to talk. Because I'm going to say,
Rolling off Sunday.
perhaps, every business, it's an every,
when I'm upstairs, I sit on the floor and I call her over. She sits with me and then we kind of read
This church is open enough that if you want to be in those centers, but I don't necessarily.
So maybe let's go around the tables again and we'll take one thing from each table and kind of go around. So is there a table that would like to start? Scott Dickinson, raising his hand. Great.
I remember what we talked about. So the observation was made that we're looking for center and borderland, right?
Yeah.
So the observation was made that maybe the deacons and the elders are in the center.
Deacons and elders. Yeah. Yeah. They make decisions, right? They know what's going on. Definitely. Thanks. We'll keep going around. Do you guys want to share one?
We said the same thing.
You said the same thing. Give us some new ones.
Pastor.
The pastor. Yes, it is a representative system, but I have a lot of power.
What section?
Session. Yeah, session. This table, what did you guys?
Cameroonians in the center.
Wow. So let's talk about that.
That was my thing.
Yeah. This church has done a remarkable job of becoming multicultural. True, 100% true. We were talking at our table about music. And we noticed that there are some songs that get sung from the front, led from the front of the room, out of a book with a microphone, and there are some songs that get led from among the congregation without any amplification. Some people don't know the words. What is that? Does that say anything about what we consider to be normal?
Music.
Any kind of music we like. I think you're getting at the music of the Cameroonians is on the outside, or the borderlands, and the music of, to lack of a better word, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants is in the center.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
We love it, we've all learned to sing it, but think of how the power works. So we privilege one kind of music in the front, and another kind of music, and maybe the song leader should have a microphone who's leading Cameroonian music. Maybe we should have some words so everyone can, it's very uncomfortable.
No, but I disagree with that only because I'm sure Caroline or, Bridget or whatever, if they weren't shy in that way, they would sing from the front of the microphone.
I disagree with that too, because if it's like that, then our church back home, that's how we sing. We sing from the church now, and we sing from the inside, from the front, from wherever we sing. So I disagree with that part. But I still feel that you said Cameroonians are in the center. Yes. I still feel that some people still see Cameroonian as in the borderlands.
Yeah, I think
Like she said here that Caroline is in the center. And other Cameroonians are in the borderlands, that's what she said. Because I am an elder or whatever, I'm in the center. Yes, because I'm an elder. Not
So who is on the session right now? Who is on the session? We have 7 people on our session. We have Caroline, Lisa, and Luann are the women on the session. And then we have Francis, Bob, George, Caroline, and who am I thinking of? Dave. Dave. We have 4 men. We have Francis and Caroline. George is off the session, isn't he?
No, he's on.
He's on. Okay, all right. So we're close, but we majority white and majority men in both cases. When does the session meet? When did the session used to meet? Tuesday nights. What does that assume?
Everybody can get their.
So, 9 to 5 job, right? Cameroonian folks, who works a 9 to 5 job? Not many. So, yes, we've come a long way, but we're still kind of privileging some assumptions above others. Does that make sense? Can you see that? It's really nitty-gritty, but it's important. Let's keep going. Does the second table on this side want to add something?
So I will talk, because you have everything up there that we said with one exception. And I will say this, if I were to leave, the center would kind of move.
Oh.
Can you do something? Yeah.
White, male, educated, and I'm on the council,
Then get out.
I'm just like, you think that you're doing something because you're being asked to do it, and then you find out maybe you're being asked to do it because of who you are. Please don't leave.
And not intentionally.
No.
Not intentionally.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
as my 25-year-old daughter likes to say, she said the power in the country is held by the grumpy old white men.
We're really working very hard here. Back here, anything to add?
We talked about a lot of those things, but we also talked about newcomers being in the borderlands. And not that they don't feel welcome, but it takes time to figure it out, to feel like you move closer to the center where everyone else is hanging out.
And so conversely, the old timers are in the middle, right? People who've been here the longest. Good. Is there something else on the other side?
We put Jesus in the middle.
Aww. Say more.
Because he's the head of the church, and if he wasn't here, we wouldn't be here, because there'd be no point.
Nice.
So he's in the middle, and the rest of us are around him. Not necessarily on the borderland, but, you know.
Yeah. Nice. Back to this table, anything else? What else do
We thought that probably the LGBT community is probably borderland.
in our church?
Right on the edge, but, you know,
And the LGBT.
Can I put it here?
sure.
Yeah, we're working on that. Yeah. What else? What do we consider to be normal here?
English language?
English.
You don't speak English?
And we do consider all kinds of accents, I think, to be in the center, right? Yeah, we do put all kinds of accents in the front.
But in the water, you mean the water?
And yeah, we've got, remember, Franco's not here today, but a lot of what happens he doesn't understand, right? We don't do a lot of things in Portuguese. Yeah. Good. What about this table, something else?
The musically inclined would be in the center.
Oh, that is very true. Do you want to say more?
And then the non-musically inclined would be sort of on the outside, trying to figure out what everyone's singing, learning words and whatnot.
Clapping.
Clapping.
I'd say you could still be a bad clapper and be in the I'm going to keep going around and I'll come back to you, okay? Other end of the table, yeah.
So one of the things we talked about was that you have a solid line between the center and the borderlines. We kind of think it's more weighty because we don't feel like there were people that are on the outside, that, you know, but we agree it's there, but it's not as solid as we said. In the world, you know, in business and out in the world, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, we agree.
Back table, anything else to add?
Yeah, you said most of what we said, then we talked to our new friends about Bay Church, so.
There you go. Other side, anything else to add? All right, this table, anything else to add?
Children?
Children.
In the center?
Yeah, what do you think? Are kids in the center?
Yeah.
Yeah, because our kid, I think they're in the center because our kids don't, they don't see those biases and stuff that as adults.
We consider it normal to have them running around, making noise, in charge of church, doing meaningful things. Yeah.
No, I was going to say that.
Yeah. What about, like, in the bulletin, when the worship leader says, "Will you please stand?" What are we assuming? Can I put able-bodied here in the middle? Other,
Meagan, the hearing and the hearing disabled
What?
are on the outside.
hearing challenge? What else? How do we get to church in the morning? How do we enter the building and then we
Go upstairs.
we go upstairs?
Yes.
Anything else that we consider to be normal? So naming these things is so important because it's making us get aware of how we're complicit in these sinful systems that keep us divided. And I think this table is right about the kind of permeable border and the ways in which we are really moving and making some gains. And we need to continually be conscious of this as we go with Jesus this week into Jerusalem and through Holy Week, we remember the people who Jesus stands with, right? They're the people in the border. I want to ask you to join me in the affirmation of faith that's in our bulletin. And it starts with a tiny bit of like a confession to help us orient ourselves as Jesus sacrificed his life for love of this church, for hope of our reconciliation. Let's make that be our goal as we live through that this week. So we confess the sins of our institution. We reject systems of power that place some at advantage and others at a disadvantage. We believe that God can make us new. As we journey with Jesus this week, we leave our sins at the cross. We are grateful for Jesus' saving actions. We say in the words of the Confession of Belhar, what do we believe? We believe in the triune God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, who gathers, protects, and cares for the church through word and spirit. This God has done since the beginning of the world and will do to the end. Amen. Folks, thank you for your willingness to talk to each other and to engage some really complicated and difficult things. You should feel very proud of yourselves. Colleagues I have in ministry who I tell what we're doing for Lent are so jealous because churches don't do things like this, and it's a big deal. So feel the accomplishment of what you've done. Good job. We're going to take